Hello. Hello, everyone. Facebook Live. It's Myra Medhurst here, coming to you live from Zoom and the Facebook group, the Golden Path Experience. How are you doing? There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. So I'm just going to check the Facebook group. If you're watching from the Facebook group, comment who's there. Let me know who's there and where you're tuning in from. And I can see still some of you joining in Zoom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. Myra Medhurst, wanting to make the next hour experience so worth your while. I know we've got a lot of mothers in this group, and so thank you. I know your time is incredibly precious, so thank you so much for organizing yourselves to carve out this hour for yourself. We've got a lot to cover tonight, and I really just want to invite people to start dropping in. Just make sure your feet are anchored on the floor. I'll do the same. You can even just gently shut down your eyes, hand on your heart, and just take a couple of deep breaths. And I just want you to imagine this beautiful golden bubble around our call tonight, around the Facebook group, around the participants who are in Zoom. And just hold everyone in the most exquisite, clear, squeaky clean, energetic grid where we're safe, we can meet one another as equals, and really have the best time tonight. Also hold the people in this energetic golden bubble that will watch the replay. I'm also holding them in the energetic grid as well. And so we're going to learn a lot tonight, but it has to be fun, has to be fun. This is not school. I don't want people to get too serious, and this is meant to be fun. And really tonight is about really coming back to the remembrance. And so if you start to have some truth bumps or goosebumps about the information that's shared tonight, then I'm so happy for you and I'm celebrating with you, because it's one of the most extraordinary feelings to have as a human being when we interact with divinity, when we get those codes and that communication and that dialogue becomes really alive. And we get that feedback back into the nervous system and the body with goosebumps. So it's okay if tonight there's some information that doesn't resonate with you, it just doesn't sit right, doesn't feel good. Please use your discernment. It's very important to me that I honor the authority in you and the intelligence of your own innate system. So please, if there's information tonight, just push it to the side. That's okay. But if there's something that's really awesome and really cool, please let us know in the Zoom chat or in the Facebook comments. I'd love to hear some of the key takeaways that you get from tonight. So really what we're exploring tonight is the 2023 collective numerology. And so we've got 7 months to go in this year, which I find so interesting that we're also holding this on the 7th evening, the 7th date of June. And this language for me, the language of numbers, is one of the easiest ways to strengthen our communication with the divine. And so for me, it's about connecting that bond, that relationship that I have with God, with Source, with the universe. And I want to play in this realm 24/7. And numerology for me, like, was one of the really early tools that I used. And so we've got so many new people in the group. And so I just want to start with this real kind of foundational piece of where I began in my journey, but also there'll be really quite advanced teachings still. I'm a bit of a straight shooter. I like to keep the ascension process very real, and really at the end of the day, we have taken the human incarnation. So it is really about grounding that spirituality into reality. And you'll find with the numerology of this year, there's a really big uprising. There's this energy that's going up, and I'll explain what that is and how that is. But also there is an art, the higher heights that you want to go to, you really need a strong anchor. And so we will go into that tonight. So I have a beautiful workbook prepared for everyone. So let us make sure we've got each a glass of water. If you want to get a notepad and pen, recommend doing that. If there's something you've got to take care of to make sure you've got the next hour dedicated and focused and just really holding that energetic golden bubble, please tend to kids or turn off your mobile phone, do what you need to do to really get anchored in. And so I really want to use the next hour that I have with you to the best of my ability to get this information out there and across to you. And so it can really increase the flow and abundance and ease and magic in your life. There is a huge amount of magic in your life. It's that we aren't taught it in a way that makes sense, and we think it's a woo-woo thing or it's a gift attributed only to a select few, and that is not the case. We are built with these inbuilt systems that are wired to ascension, evolution, magic, abundance. And so I want to interact with the universe as much as possible to always get that feedback that, yep, I'm on the right path. I'm always in the right place at the right time. I am on my golden path. This is my soul's highest mission. So I'm going to teach you a few tools tonight you can easily implement in your life. And honestly, if you can count from 1 to 9, you're going to be okay. The world's not going to combust. We're going to be okay. So honestly, if you can count to 9, you're in the right room. Okay, let me share my screen and bring this up for everyone. Are we all good? We can see this in the Facebook group. Just make sure that's come up in the Facebook group. Looking good. Amazing. So welcome, everyone. We have the collective 2023 numerology. And it's so interesting that I'm presenting this in June. I'm not late. It just, all the information had to land. That's why. But here we are. So who am I? I know I've got a lot of new people in the group. So hi, everyone. I'm Myra. And really what I do is I specialize in the evolution of human consciousness. And so this journey started incredibly young for me. That does not make it easier. I will stress that. So at the age of 4, I had a soul remembrance. Well, actually, it was when Halley's Comet was passing over Australia. I lived up in far north Queensland, and my parents, who are magnificent hosts of family dinners and parties, had a party that night to celebrate the passing over of Halley's Comet. I remember being a 4-year-old, and I remember being out in the front lawn, down the driveway, looking up at the sky and seeing the Milky Way and all the stars, and an experience just completely dropped in. And it's like I just birthed myself as a star. And I just remembered this, knowing that Our divine heritage is from the grand central sun, and our lineage certainly does come through the stars. So I didn't have that language, obviously, as a 4-year-old. It took me many, many years later to be able to articulate this sensation of deep connection to the stars. I've also had Kundalini awakening experiences that have all been spontaneous and not through external stimulants. A really big part of my history is really uncovering my Atlantean and Lemurian heritage. And I must say that's just been the most exquisite ride that I could ever imagine. I've got over 17 years in the personal and the spiritual development industry. So I've worked behind the scenes in a special events management company where I worked really quite intimately with really big speakers that would bring out to Australia. So the likes of Dr. John DeMartini, Wayne Dwyer, Bob Proctor back in the day. I'm also an advanced liquid crystal practitioner. And I've completed, honestly, over 4,000 Soul's Highest Mission readings. It's one of my greatest passions and gifts that I give to humanity. Moved to the Sunshine Coast, and I had this really big, strong vision of building a temple. Again, I know it sounds weird, but this stuff goes on in my life. And so it was really to bring back the priestess sisters and to anchor them back into a sacred space of the temple. My clients honestly range from all different walks of life. Some people are incredibly corporate, really high net worth women, and then creatives, visionaries, actors, people working finance, and honestly the mining industry and teachers. It does not matter. This human evolution process is honestly touching into each and every one of us. So moving on, we are now into a class. So everyone's okay, everyone's kind of settled in. Amazing. So I was starting earlier about this really simple, incredible language of communicating and really wanting to foster and develop and strengthen the relationship I have with the divine. And it's this magical place. I just absolutely love it. And so anything I can do to facilitate the strengthening of this relationship is something that I really seek out in my life. And I'm sure many of you were quite the same. It's like you're just eager to learn more, to know more, to deepen the self inquiry process. And I love this process because I call it excavating to the authentic self. This is like the soulfully led life. Many people coming back now, we are really seeing the repeating numbers, 1111, 1212. And so this is where you're really starting to reach a higher level of consciousness. All your senses are beginning to attune to a higher frequency. And so now you're interacting at this more elevated reality. The 1111 awakening is one of the greatest rides you can ever go on. I certainly went through it. I had a lot going on in 2011. It's when I actually started teaching my first ever Atlantean workshop, and it was just to 5 of my friends, and I just started in the lounge room at home. I also met my twin flame and now husband on 11/11/11. So this stuff is real. It does really happen. 11/11, it's an incredible gateway. It's actually a Syrian code as well, but it really is an invitation to go, hey, we're moving from the old way to the new way. Like, we are doing this. It is a fantastic, strong gateway and portal. You can imagine like 2 gates standing out like this. And so whatever stands in between this gateway has incredible abilities for spontaneous healing. You can do portal travel and unlock incredible gifts. And as they say, it really is the journey from the head to the heart, which is the longest and most important journey that you'll ever take. And there are so many 11/11 star seeds coming back. And really, it's like the arrival at the 11th hour It's like, holy moly, we need to send in all our most incredible ascended people that have had lots of lifetimes on this planet. We need to send in the best of the best at the 11th hour to really give planet and humanity this really elevated nudge to make sure that we make it over into the golden age. 1111 is filled with just incredible combination of forces. So I just want to talk about the 4 stages of the 1111 awakening. So what usually happens is people just start to see it on a digital clock, or they're driving and it comes up on the odometer. I love that one. So I've had an experience when I'm using Google Maps, and it will say you've got 11 kilometers to go in 11 minutes and you're going to arrive at 11:11. And so we begin to notice numbers. And then there's this bit of an inner conflict. And it's like, is that message for me? Like, did that really happen? No, it couldn't be for me. It could just be a fluke. It could just be an accident. So there's this inner turmoil that comes in, and it really is like, is that God or the universe like trying to get a message across? The answer is yes. And so then we go through this integration period, and it's like, oh my God, okay, we're doing this. This is real. This is happening. This relationship is now strengthening. And now I have this interaction with the divine. And so there becomes this integration period of really starting to test it and to perhaps believe it. But on some occasions, you might even doubt it still. And then the illumination period, which I love, is just when you see it all the time, you hang out with all the best friends who see it too, and it becomes its own kind of living, breathing ecosystem. And and you can swing between the two. Sometimes I still have moments of like, I'm not sure if that was for me. Like, I just don't want that message yet. I'm not ready to receive it. I'll kind of give that over to someone else. But going into the space now where so many people see repeating numbers. Oh, and I just love this graphic. I'm sorry, this is just something that came to me. But this is the symbol, the zodiac sign for Aquarius. And it's the 2 waves like that. And I've just turned them on their side and mirrored them. And you honestly have an 11:11 gateway again. I think that's super cool. And so that zodiac symbol there is the symbol for Aquarius. And we are moving in well and truly now into the age of Aquarius. So I just love kind of flipping things with numbers, and also holding numbers in a mirror and mirroring them out. You can get so many more advanced codes and a multi-dimensional aspect to the numbers and what they're really communicating with you. So these are kind of a list of repeating numbers I've got here. And look, everyone's going to get a copy of this PDF after. And so don't feel you've got to rush through this process at all. So repeating numbers, I've listed a few down there of the main ones. And one of the things I do with, I guess, these languages of the universe and these communication tools is I begin to layer them, and you'll get more depth and more kind of complexity the more you begin to layer all these things. So what I've begun to do is then take numerology, and then I call it chakra numerology. I layer it over the 7 chakras of the physical body. And I'll go into another layer later in the class, is where you can layer numbers to the English alphabet. And so you can get vibrational codes as to what actually words mean, and it will blow your mind, the layering of this. So a big one at the moment is 11. Obviously, it's the original wake-up call to call out the star seeds, to come in from Sirius, to come in from Pleiades, and to come in from Andromeda. And so this was a really big call out, a galactic call. And so they all came through those gateways, and we are incarnate on planet Earth. And I love it. It is kind of literally coming in at the 11th hour to assist humanity. The twos, you can look around your sacral chakra. That's got to do with partnerships. The threes can come up into the solar plexus. There's just some common ones there. And look, this is a system I use. If you gravitate towards another system and you've got good results from that, then please use that, okay? Again, please use your own discernment. But the best way around this is you just play with it. You experiment with it and have conversations about this again with your sisters. And again, all we really want to get develop here is strengthen our relationship to the divine, to the real you. And so we're just looking at ways to strengthen and create a dialogue in this. So you must know that you are never alone. You always have a whole entourage of light with you all the time, and they do their best. You know, it's actually really quite hard to get messages across when you're at those frequencies. You really have to slow down your vibration to interact with the density of our field. So they use simple things like this, like numbers, and their ability to go through electrical circuits and through technology is really good. So the use of technology is what they're using to get these images through. So that's just like a little introduction on sequencing of numbers. Now here, I want to look at the universal year. So we are in the year 2023. And if anyone is a complete newbie to numerology, all you need to do is separate out your numbers. And we're just going to add 2, the 0, the 2, and the 3. And so that equals 7. We're in a universal 7 year. Now, the key questions are for this one: are you living in alignment or a lie? And that's a pretty big one to kind of sit with and contemplate on. But I'll go into the reasons why this is such a key question. Another thing I do with numbers is I think back to the last sequence in the year that added up to the 7. So think back to 2014. The 2, the 1, and the 4 is 7. So that was our last collective 7-year cycle. So just have a think and review your life. Where were you living? Where were you working in 2014? Did you have any health issues or concerns? What was going on in your life? Were you running a business, or were you an employee? And then think back emotionally. Okay, what was emotionally going on in my life? And so this is also beautiful thing about numbers, is they're always cyclical, repeating patterns. And so this is an opportunity for us to just even kind of review 2014. The best thing about the 7 is to expect miracles. There are miracles everywhere, and I'll explain why that is. But the flip side of that is a bit of mayhem, a bit of chaos. And 7 is absolutely an uprising energy. So if we look at the number 7, like just the sheer graphic of that 7, it looks like it's like a cliff. And you've got to take this leap of faith that you're actually going to fly this year. Or it could be like where we jump to conclusions, and then we can see it traveling up the length of the longer arm to the 7. We can see that as, we could probably read, it's a long way to the top, or you can even take the scenic route. You take the longer way is usually the scenic route, right? We can also see this 7 as a lamp post. Yeah, so this is the lamp, old-fashioned lamp post out on the street. and there's the lamppost there. And so I see that as illuminating our path, provides illumination, or it could be a flash of lightning. That 7 is indicating that as well. Now, one thing I teach my students, I hope I've got some old students on the call, which is great in the class. But for the new students, this is such a hack, and I really want everyone to get this. But when you look at a symbol, a number is a symbol. Okay, so when you look at a number, or when you look at a yin-yang symbol, when you look at sacred geometry, I want you to take it from a 2-dimensional, and I want you to make it 3D, and I want you to give it life and movement. Now I'm going to explain what I mean. If we look at this 7, we go, oh, there's a static number on the page. No, the advanced teachings are, and your DNA will remember this. What we do is we breathe life into symbols. Symbols are never static. They are alive, pulsing, and vibrating. So if we were to take the 7, and imagine this is my base of my 7 here, and it's got, I was trying to find an instrument that could do this. It's like an Allen key. If everyone can imagine an Allen key, if you did this to an Allen key, that top, the shorter arm on it, that top would become a propeller. It would spin. And when something spins, it gets propulsion. It gets lift off. It gets air under it. And so here's this uprising. Yeah, it's super cool. So if you take a leap of faith this year, you might find that you have a propeller wing to you and you will be able to fly. Isn't this just super cool? This is what the 7 is telling us. It's so cool. So 7 life paths, it relates to spiritual teachers. This is the year to really harness the crown chakra, and I'll get there next. But this is a year of miracles, but it can also get a bit mayhem as well. So things like you can expect career detours, you can expect changes in social circles, but you really need to take a leap of faith on what your soul is telling you to do. So 7, and so here are just some key words. And one thing about me is I actually don't believe in luck at all. I don't believe in coincidences. I just really believe in being aligned as fuck. And that's why I teach the golden path, because what I'm experiencing in my own life is the more I can become aligned to this golden divinity light that illuminates me and illuminates the whole world, the more magic it is. And so alignment, things happen really fast. You get to operate in the quantum, and it opens up all these amazing multidimensional and sacred gifts that you have. And obviously it also helps humanity's evolution process. But this really is a year of about you change or you just get changed. So you choose it. You be an active participant in the change that is going to happen this year, or you can take the passive role where you're just going to get changed anyway. So I always want to be on the front foot, and I want to be the active participant in this ascension awakening process. So if we look at the chakra systems now in the body, the 7th chakra is the crown. This whole year is about activating this. I absolutely love the crown chakra. I feel like I have huge amounts of wisdom to share about it, because I honestly believe mine has been open for the majority of my life. It's one of my strong suits. It's one of my strengths, and I believe I have used it quite well to navigate life. And so collectively around the globe, this year is all about healing the crown chakra. So it sits atop our head. It includes our hair, okay? And it faces up, 1,000 little lotus. It includes the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus. When it is open, you will clearly know your soul's purpose. And you must have the courage to face your own death. It's like you would even let your physical body expire to pursue your soul's highest mission. Because the crown is it teaches holiness. And so this is where our halo sits. And it's about finding our holiness. And then we realize we are not just the physical body. We are not the human experience. It's a very big piece, but the real self is beyond the body, including the body, but beyond the body as well. The crown chakra teaches us to be a king or queen over our reality. And so one that has a closed or blocked chakra, they live just down in the physical body. They're very happy with how their life is going. They will not want to change. Don't tell me what to do. I don't want to elevate or learn any new teachings. Thank you very much. I'm happy with my life and my mortgage, and don't talk about that thing called God. And usually they've never considered their death, and they've never considered reincarnation. That would be a very scary topic for people with a closed crown. Yeah, when you feel blocked at the crown, you do feel alone. Okay, it feels like your connection to source, to God, to your divine highest self, it feels like it gets severed. And so you do feel alone. You'll begin to quite isolate. You won't trust people. And then you can spiritually bypass as well, which is not what I recommend at all. It's where the crown sits for the regal people. This is all about, spiritual education, higher truths, activating your soul's highest mission. So many people around the world will be really thinking this year as to what the heck am I even doing on this planet? What does my life mean? What is my purpose? So many people will be, and people that have never thought this way before, it will be quite frightening for them. Yeah, that's all I can say for that. And so you really need to do the inner work to be able to, and so it's about finding your crown in life again. Finding your halo, your holiness now, knowing that you are inherently good. You are even God, and that is already enough in life. This is so important. You don't need to buy it, and you don't need to earn your crown. It is there. And so a huge amount of energy and activation will be coming through the crown this year. It's really fun. If you can take that leap of faith, if you can surrender and take that leap of faith, this is a really fun, delightful space to be in, because you're really strengthening that connection to your divine and to your inherent power. So much abundance, so much joy and peace. There's so much peace knowing that the universe has got your back every single moment. They've never left you. So here's just some, this is quite basic information for me, but I still feel like it really needs to be shared. So you can just check yourself throughout the year, ways to cleanse, heal, and to open your crown. Practice being of service to humanity in ways that leave you nourished. You can look at daily healing practices like meditation, yoga. Now, Reiki will take off this year. It will become, it's already very mainstream, but I just feel like it will be solidified again because it has a 7 energy Reiki to it. Keep learning about your soul. do a soul's highest mission reading. This book I highly recommend, The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman. Such a great book. He goes into your life paths. And so there is a bonus at the end of this masterclass when we load it up into the guides section. There's a bonus PDF and it goes through all your personal life paths for this year. And so do take a read of that. We'll do an exercise where we work out what your personal life is for this year. And information like this, like just having these conversations, getting together, it is really about, yeah, the universal soul energy. Yeah. Keep learning about other souls, keep learning about the universe, keep inquiring about other star seeds on other planets and our galactic brothers and sisters. That will really put you in a really strong place for this year. Embrace aging, face your fears, face your death. Honestly, the easiest way I found to face my death was to do my soul's highest mission reading, because when you anchor in the strength of your crown, so many of your humanly 3D fears begin to just dissolve, because you burn for your soul's highest mission. And especially for a star seed that they don't feel like they've really landed on the planet. The reason they're a star seed is they carry their soul's highest mission, the seeds for it to seed humanity. And when a star seed gets activated in their soul's highest mission, watch out. These people, they burn for it. Yeah, it is such a great book, Jess. It's such a great insight. And look, I'm a master number. My path in this, I'm a 2911. And when I read it, I just had tears of someone deeply understanding who I was. It explains so much of my life, why it is just so esoteric led my life, even though I do not come from a family or any education in this. This was all just self-inquiry. This was the ability to go within. And the soul crown chakra, let it take you within, okay? Going to high places like the tops of mountains, the tops of waterfalls. You kind of want to climb and get to the top of an apex. This is this uprising energy. Also, simplify your belongings, simplify your lifestyle. Your crown chakra is honestly not really interested in that stuff. And study spiritual leaders, study innovators, study trailblazers, especially trailblazers, the underdog that came in and completely disrupted a system because of their electricity, because of their magnetism. This is all really crown activity. Now, I will say this is so important, and I had an experience of this today in my own body. I went with a sister today. She's a client. Most of my clients become incredibly good friends of mine. And once you enter my world, you always have a seat at my table and a room at my house, pretty much. And so very close with this sister, and we went to climb Pomona Mountain, which is called Karuthra, I believe I've got that correct. And I'm taking this journey up the mountain today. It's a very steep inclination, and I knew it was a part of delivering this masterclass. I believed it's like a layer of deepening or an embodiment. I was going up the mountain, and you have to scramble. You're holding on to chains. And I get to the top, and I just meditate, and my friend and I separate for a bit and just sit in silence. And beautiful, stunning day on the coast today. And as I'm sitting there, I just close my eyes, and I'm getting this download, but it is so not what I expected, because I'm like, yay, you know, I've reached the top of the mountain. I'm at the apex, like my crown's going to be activated. I'm expecting all this, right? They send me down. They send me down the core of the mountain, deeper and deeper and deeper, deep into the earth, into my earth soul, my earth star, sorry. This earth star must be grounded and activated to hold as that anchor point to reach great depths in your crown. You want a healthy crown, you have a very solid, healthy earth star chakra. So for anyone new in the class, the earth star chakra is found beneath your feet. It's what anchors you to planet Earth. It's a, I mean, all the chakras are necessary, but to actually keep you here on Earth, your earth star chakra must be, it's a vital part to the system. And so obsidian, the crystal obsidian, is very potent and powerful here. It's a great, powerful conduit of the earth star chakra. And this is deep work, right? You can't avoid this. Most people don't want to go deep because it gets uncomfortable. Confront your humanness. Confront your earth lessons, yeah? And so we must descend before we can ascend. And so this is what the mountain was speaking to me today. It was really cool to actually have that in the body. How's everyone doing? We're going to get into a little bit more advanced teachings now. I just wanted to give an introduction as to where this energy of the 7 is really going. So like I said before, I want to start layering now. So we're going to take the numbers and layer them to the chakra system over the body. And so we're going to work out our personal years. So there's some instructions, I'll just move them up. I hope you can see them, but there's just some instructions here. So if we've all got pen and paper, what you do, just take the day you were born and the month and separate them out. And I've given examples here. So the example is Sarah is born on the 12th of December. So we're going to add the 1, 2 of the 12 and then the 1, 2 of the December. We add them all up and we get the 6 is the final sum. Now, some of you are going to add 2022. Some of you are going to add 2023. Okay, if you've had your birthday already this year, add 2023. If you haven't had your birthday yet, if it's in October, if it's in August, you're going to add 2022. Okay, you have not had your birthday this year, you are going to add 2022. And I want you to keep adding those numbers till you get the final sum and then reduce them down to a single digit. As you do that, I'm going to go into the Zoom chat and the Facebook comments. If anyone needs help, let me know. And we've got some old students in the class. I'm sure they're familiar with this process. Oh, Bree, you're loving it. Great, hun. I'm so pleased. I'm so happy for you. Okay. Great, Bree. So if we've all got our personal year. So collectively, humanity around the globe are experiencing a 7. Now I want to know what you personally are going through in that collective 7. That's right, Liv. If you end up with a double digit, hun, you add those together and you're going to reduce everything down to a single digit. And then when you've got the number, now this page I'm going to show you is just a summary. The bonus is available after the class. Okay, Bree, so you're born in July, the 24th of July. So you're going to add your 2 and your 4 and your 7, Bree. Now, because your birthday is in July, you've not had your birthday yet in 2023. So you're going to add 2, 4, 7, 2, 0, 2, 2 together. Bianca, you've got yours. You're a 4. Okay, great. So 4, hun, you're going to read that love and the heart chakra, 4th chakra in the body. Go back to what and whom you love. My gosh, you have been doing this. No more compromising. Follow through. Be consistent. Lots of movement forward in May and June. Yeah, spot on, Bianca. Jess, you're a 6. Beautiful. Bree, you're a 4, hun. If you get the double digits of 13, you're going to add the 1 and the 3 together. Now, this is just a summary, okay? When we upload this class, these webinar notes, we're going to add the bonus in. So there'll be a dedicated 1-page summary for each of your personal years. So what I do is suggest when we give us an hour or 2 after this live, we'll upload it, come back into the group, look in the guides section. It's up on the top menu. You see all the educational resources there. Beautiful. Looks like everyone's kind of got their number. You're reducing it down to a single digit. So Jess, you're all the 3rd eye. Beautiful vision. Really lovely. That just ties in with the new work you're doing this year as well, with all that. And Liv, you're at a 3. Yeah. Great. Travel. Live. Travel. Hello. Be more playful. Yes, that's exactly what you're doing. So beautiful. And isn't it cool when you get that confirmation, like even some big life decisions that you decide upon this year, it's just like really spot on. It's like really good. Steph, you're back. You're back online. You're 9. Ooh. Yeah, 9. So you're looking at the higher chakras, hun. That's really cool stuff, Steph. I would read the 1-pager that we'll publish after this class. You want to read the 9, okay? This is like cool, you know, cool stuff. So the personal year is what you're personally in. You're operating within the atmospheric conditions of a global 7, okay? So you want to kind of dance between the 2. Now, this is super cool. I now layer numerology with words. So this is Pythagorean's work. Very simple. He's just layering. And Renee, you're a 3. Oh, Renee, you're here. Gorgeous. Beautiful, darling. Oh, I'm so excited. I bet you're all cozied up in your PJs too. I can just imagine. Gorgeous. The 3. So beautiful. So let's layer, hey? Let's get a bit more advanced now. I like going to the advanced level. Numerology in words. So take a screenshot of this if you want, but it's just the letters of the English alphabet, and you're just going to go out in a sequence from 1 to 9. So you go 1 up to I, and then you come down to the next line. Check this out. I nerd out on this stuff, okay? Check out these words. Church equals a 7. This is about the top heads of church in the crown. They are going to be in the spotlight this year. Mother, beautiful. She's a 7. Courage. You've got to have courage. to face the fears and to face your own death. You have to have the courage to pursue your soul's highest mission. You have to have the courage to take that leap of faith. Giza, the pyramid in Egypt, is a 7. She is the crown chakra. Many people will travel to Giza. It's very hot this year. Funnily enough, Brisbane comes to a 7. A lot of people have a personal life path of a 7. More often than not, you actually get gravitated towards a city that holds the same frequency and vibration. Now, this is just fantastic. I love when it layers. Rabbit comes to 7 as well. And if you know the Chinese astrology, we are in a rabbit year. I love when these things layer and line up. Entrepreneurs, always thinking outside the box. Entrepreneurs have great crowns. We've got to be very big vision thinkers. So it's just great. They've got a 7 as well, hold the energy of a 7. They disrupt things and change things over into a new cycle. Tarot. The 7th card in the tarot deck is the Chariot card. This symbolizes triumph, victory, and success. It holds the warrior energy. It holds this energy for you to really pursue the soul-led life. Start questioning what it is your soul truly wants to do on this planet. If you were to die tomorrow, what would you dedicate your last 24 hours of life to? And I honestly, if there's one thing I can get across to you this evening in the 7 energy, is that you are on earth for a reason. Whether you believe in God or not, or higher energy, a higher force, you are here for a reason. Your life truly matters, and you are here to make a difference. Beautiful thing about the Chariot is you see like these two, the black and the white kind of tigers down there. This is the assimilation and the marriage of the 2 opposing forces. So what we could say is like that's the unification of the masculine and the feminine. Also just the different consciousness and parts of the mind. This is a very big card of action and forward movement. This is what is going to give the courage for you to really use and activate your crown chakra. And it's like riding the wild horse into the future, like riding that wild horse into the age of Aquarius, just like high on life, pure courage, could face any fear. And it's like people will follow that energy. Yeah, we're looking for movement and this sense of no turning back now. Here's another deeper layer. If anyone really knows the hidden messages of Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, if you have only watched that movie as a child and just taken it at face value, I strongly encourage people to look a little deeper into that movie and what some of the deeper themes are. But it really is, are you following that yellow brick road? Now, we have the golden chariot. Not only is it referenced in tarot, it's referenced in other places. It's all through the Bible. It's even in the Jewish mysticism, and the golden chariot is also mentioned in ancient Indian scriptures and texts as well. This is a bit more of an advanced teaching, but I really want to show you how you can layer and link up all this information. The reason I'm going on about this chariot is because it is the 7th card in the tarot deck. And I know that chariot is mentioned in a lot of other texts as well. So it gets mentioned as the chariots of fire. This is someone living in their crown chakra, right? Now, the Hebrew word for chariot is Merkava, which is a Merkaba. And this is found in the school of early Jewish mysticism. I love this stuff at this level, okay? A Merkaba is a vehicle. It's a cart. It's a chariot. And the Merkaba is an energetic chariot. It's a geometric structure. It's the vehicle, the Merkaba, which holds all of our physical and energetic structures. This is an incredible year to activate and work with your Merkaba. It's a really strong place. If you really want to accelerate your ascension journey and your awakening this year, look into the Merkaba. It's a spinning star tetrahedron, and it's a 3-dimensional 8-pointed star. I use it a lot in my teachings. It's a physical vehicle. It's the geometric form which actually holds your body and all of your energetic systems. If you have no Merkaba, you have no incarnation, okay? So the star tetrahedron looks like this, beautiful sacred geometry. Now, in Indian scripture, they call your Merkaba the golden chariot of fire. This is when all of your chakras are illuminated, lit up, and you've touched and illuminated the crown. And I visualize myself as this, right? I'm like, I am the golden chariot of fire. I am merged with the divine. Everything I see is divine. Everything I hear is divine. The words that I speak are dripping in divinity. This is the level of where we really need to take our leadership with our own ascension process, and we need this leadership in humanity. So here's a page here about the star tetrahedron. If you wanted to kind of investigate that a little bit deeper, it is very intrinsically linked to the Chariot card in the tarot, to your crown chakra, and it is in so many religious texts, okay? I hope this is helpful for people. I really do. I mean, I have these conversations all the time with my tribe and my clients, so I just hope that this is valuable. I'm just going to take a sip of water. If there is any questions, maybe just post them below. Has anyone heard of the Golden Chariot of Fire before? I know there's some people in the group that have heard of the Merkaba, but when people are, it's so interesting when you kind of cross-reference into different texts, different religious groups, you're like, oh, Golden Chariot of Fire, that's more of like an Indian reference of the illumination of when you're merged with your God self. And then you hear someone say, oh, the Merkaba, and they're talking about the same thing. It's so cool when you can see this universal language be used everywhere. So let's move on to the zodiac for the year. The 7th sign of the zodiac is Libra. She's the equalizer, she's the balancer. And so she's ruled by Venus. Again, Venus is in a really strong power play this year. Like there's eclipses of fate and karma. It's pretty big stuff. So I would really soften a lot of relationships this year because it's really going through a cathartic fire. And then this is a really good year to clean out your 7th house. So that's old projections that you might have on other people, might be old and stale business relationships, and just generally overall relationships are really going to get a bit of a hammering this year. So the Chinese astrology for this year is the water rabbit. And we know rabbit adds up to a 7. So water rabbit. So Chinese New Year, they operate with 5 elements and they've got 12 animals. So what that means is you've got 80 combinations that they use. And honestly, they use the lunar calendar. So for them, their new year starts on the 22nd of January and it will go through to the 9th of Feb next year. So the beautiful story, according to the Chinese astrology and according to legend, is that how the zodiac animals were kind of derived is that there was decided to be a race. And the animals had to race across the river to reach the palace. And this is according to ancient legend. And so the rabbit finished fourth, but he's considered really, really lucky because dragon energy came in and actually saved rabbit from drowning and then just magically appeared a passing log. And so rabbit was able to go onto the log and make it safely across the river and was able to enter the palace. So because of this legend, rabbit is considered a very lucky zodiac for Chinese astrology. So this year will bring like lucky breaks in partnerships for those that are on their path. Again, the early question in the year was, are you living in alignment or are you living in a lie? Is your crown chakra open? Are you willing to take that leap of faith? Or are you going to retreat and constrict and contract and block the crown this year? So rabbit's not the strongest animal, right? But it has charm and it has speed. It definitely can attract money, fertility. It attracts lovers and it attracts success. The beautiful thing about rabbit is I really feel like she's going to soften the edges to this year. This is about going gentle. And so it's the gentle rain that makes the flowers grow. The awesome thing about the crown chakra is you don't have to do much. It does so much for you because you're now interacting with the divine. And so it's not something you push. It's like sometimes the less you do, the more movement forward that you're going to get. This is absolutely the year to achieve more by doing less. Now, most of humanity will not do it because they're operating from the 3D old constructs. But I encourage you, just even as an experiment, just for the next 4 weeks, to really play around with this curiosity of achieving more by doing less. It's such an interesting dynamic. And when you use the crown chakra for what it's designed for, you will be using the faculties of your multidimensionality and quantum. You can do so much in those playing fields that just aren't available in the 3D. Now, rabbit is the animal totem for chrysocolla. Chrysocolla in the liquid crystals is a very feminine stone, and she's the stone of silence. This is when the rabbit needs to be quiet. This is actually the year where you go internal, be quiet, and listen to what your crown needs to tell you. Okay, the rabbit is quiet, persistent, hesitant. It's got delicate energies, right? And she's offering us a really big, deep exhale this year. I love this one. Rabbits chew grass, so just eat more greens. And because it's the water element, I mean, I always say this, but this year is even more important to drink water, okay? Because we're in the water element. There's a bit more there about rabbit. You know, she gets confined to her chamber. She's alone. This is an energy to just sit alone in your bed and really inquire about your soul. What are you here for? You want higher spiritual teachings, higher spiritual learnings. This will be a year collectively that so many people will start questioning those really big questions in life. What am I here for? What happens when I die? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? So anyone working in this field, serving those big questions will do very well this year. This will be a big shift of a lot of spiritual mentors, spiritual teachers, someone like myself doing this work. We will be highly sought out. People will gravitate to us because of the 7 energy this year. But please, you must use your discernment. If someone is not right for you, please just do not take that teaching and do not take their energy on. You are the most, you're the greatest authority over your crown, over your whole system. Okay, it's so important. Never ever give your power away. You know, fertility, you know, breed like rabbits, that kind of line. Like if you want a baby, this is the year. But also if you want to like give birth to that creative project, if there's actually that thing, and actually like birthing who you really are, this is the energy. Birthing your soul's highest mission. Yeah, marry it up with the crown energies. And the water is the element all over our psychic senses, some real high psychic abilities, diplomacy, the negotiation skills. We're going to see major shifts in politics up at that higher level of leadership. There'll be a new wave coming in because of what I know about water, also what the zodiac is doing this year, and because of the rabbit and the 7th energy. And I just love this quote, you know, the answer to war isn't peace. It's creativity. It's creativity that just doesn't even bring us into that energy. And so moving into the age of Aquarius, I strongly, highly recommend everyone really begin to drop into their creative, energetic archetype, you know, and people kind of, you know, because I know this information at this level, it's like you can see the creativity even in my recent photo shoot, because I wanted to push the creative edges of what people think's possible to present yourself out there as a teacher in this space. And it's just like, no, we are all so creative. Like the more you can push the edges with your creativity, the more you can break the rules and do things from a higher elevated perspective, the better you're going to do. It's going to be so fresh. It's going to be so alive in your life. People will respond to it really well. Little bit more about cute little bunny. Oh, this is super cool. So the water rabbit's also called, what we call it, the black water rabbit as well. Okay, and so this cycle last occurred in 1963. That's 60 years ago. And then 1903, which is 120 years ago. Get this, 1963. This is the energy we're in again. 1963. 250,000 people. This is before Facebook. This is before mobile phones. They marched for the civil rights in the US. That's 250,000 people. It is huge. Unfortunately, JFK was assassinated, but we see that high-level changeover in politics. And Martin Luther King, it was the same year he gave his incredible channeled speech. So beautiful. And the Indigenous Australians gained the right to vote that year as well. These are all really big, like 7 energy movements as well. And the water rabbit. Now look at this, 1903 was the first successful powered flight by the Wright brothers as well. So remember I told you about that 7? And if we bring life into it, it actually spins and takes flight. So, so cool that that's the same year we take flight there. And just some key words, okay? The softness of this water rabbit is what's going to make us retreat and go within in those quiet moments of ourself, okay? It's so needed because in this space, we want to contemplate. In this space, we want to inquire about what our soul actually burns for, what we are actually here for. Okay, in summary, we're getting there. Universal year of the 7, mayhem and miracles, right? This is about a crown healing, huge awakening ascension process happening on the planet. Some people are going to be able to take the leap of faith and go with it. Other people are going to close down the crown chakra, and it's going to be really quite difficult and isolating for them. We're going to see revolution of politics, religion, increase in women leaders. Now, who rules your body? Who rules your temples? Who rules the church? This will be a very hot topic. Do you accept your holiness? Yeah. Can you spot the true from the phony teachers? This is so important because everyone's going to be talking about spiritual education. And have you connected with your soul? Right? Are you standing in your sovereignty, and are you riding your own golden chariot, not someone else's? Okay, greatest themes and threats for this year. Theme number 1, like I mentioned before, we can work less to achieve more because of the function of the crown. Now, this is an interesting topic because most people for so long, they equate time with money and they put the two together, and there needs to be a whole re-education around this. Just don't do that. As an exercise or a bit of homework, can you begin to separate these two out? Time is time and money is money, okay? You don't need to do this and equate and put them and glue them together. Time is time, money is money. You need to keep both streams flowing, the energy flowing, and you need to keep both these streams free from negative energy and negative old belief patterns, okay? This is how you achieve more by working less. There's a very big Atlantean teaching. I teach around this. That's in the Priestess program, though, not here tonight. Really this year, you kind of want to imagine that you're pregnant with possibility. And so how do you treat yourself when you're pregnant? If you can remember, if you've had a child, it's like you get tended to, you have extra naps, you like that level of care is really like treating yourself as the queen, becoming sovereign and really using your crown. And remember, you are the well to your wealth. Okay, so you have to take care of yourself, and any employees who treat their staff really well, you'll prosper with the 11/11 energy and the age of Aquarius. I certainly see that in my own life already. Now, here's the threat. The threat is most people cannot wrap their heads around making this separation. Most people cannot wrap their heads around doing less and going further in life. They've been entrained and brainwashed. The whole 3D reality has told us, no, you just keep working more. If you want to get ahead in life, you just keep working more. The threat here is that this year, people will work more and they will not be effective. They will not get ahead and they will actually achieve less. And so what's going to happen is you see a lot of burnout and you will see a lot of mental health issues because people will just not be able to work it out, that they keep working hard, extreme thinking. You've got refusal to learn from mistakes. You're not willing to give another path a go because you're so closed off here. It's just do what we've done before. You will see this play out, okay? So just try not to be in that category. Just take that leap of faith, really understand the beauty and the wisdom of the crown chakra, and she will honestly just lead you the next step of the way. She will illuminate your path of just what to do next, yeah? Most of my life, I have no idea what I'm doing next, okay? Don't think I've got it all planned out. Is literally just the illumination of my current life that lights up the next step. Okay, and that's all you need to see. You just need to see the next step, have that courage, have that forward movement, be anchored into your soul's highest mission, and man, you're good to go. You're good to go. You've got everything you need. You don't need to know the final steps. Okay, just the theme too, supersizing your connections. The beautiful thing about the crown chakra is that you're never the lone pebble. You are connected to the network. You are connected to the unity consciousness. So really keep a journal about all of those divine messages, the spirit messages. And when you get them, you gotta act on them really quickly, okay? Don't let them go stale and stagnant. It's like they lose the electricity in them. When you get a bit of a download, like quickly act on it and follow up on it. This is a really big year for people being really interested in ancestral and past lives, because the soul, a crown chakra does all that for you. It connects you all into your Akashic records. Future guidance, future lives, they'll be really, and people will just want, there'll be another group on the planet that will not want to know about any of this, because they're like, no, you've just got this one life. If this is closed off, you are just operating at that one life reality. And then the threat is we see people obsessing over all of this disconnection. So you become kind of stuck in the disconnection. They'll find fault with others. They'll find fault with themselves, tearing people down. Especially for the sensitive people, you have to learn to become physically, mentally, and energetically strong. And I think this is one thing that I'm actually quite good at, is that this journey for me, I've always had one foot in spiritual development and another foot in personal development, because as you build the light quotient in your body, you begin to ascend, right? And people feel amazing and people feel great and they get excited. The humanness aspect, you'll have old belief systems then creep in, because they're the ones that need to be let go of for you to ascend to the next level again. So there's so much valuable teachings in personal development. How do I let go of self-judgment? Physically strengthen the body, strengthen the mind, because the more you ascend, you've got to take the physical structure with you. You have to take your humanness with you, okay? So 2023 will show us that bigger is not always better, just better is better, okay? Don't think bigger is better. We have to let that old pattern go. Let go of the top dog mentality. We are all here to grow. People teaching us to question the ingredients, like question how life is put together, question your education. So people teaching us this to take the authority over our own lives. They'll be the greatest teachers. Education about neurodiversity, the healing, the psychic development, the spirituality, the ascension process, anything to do with the crown and in this space. Anyone like the mad scientist or the futuristic inventors, they'll do really well, because they actually channel and download those inventions through the crown. So you can kind of see this energy, right? It's so prominent. It's like, okay, what are we going to do? How can you implement this in your own life? And I love this quote, one must have chaos within to give birth to a dancing star. And that's the 7 energy. There's a little bit of turmoil. There's a little bit of trust. There's a huge amount of courage that goes into this. But if you really want miracles, they can certainly happen this year, and just strengthen that relationship that you have with your crown, with the divine, with the divinity within you. All right, we're getting towards the end. Thank you so much for your time. I have gone over. It was a lot to cover, but please, if you feel, we'll be publishing this in the guide section, so anyone can join the group, anyone can see it there. Please do circle back in and look for that bonus, because it will go through your personal years for this year. But really seize the magic, grab the moment, and live in the now. And this is what numerology and communicating with the divine has done with me. So you're in the Golden Path experience, and I just want to keep talking about what if people want to continue their best learning and their best education. Okay, so I've got a program called Gateway. It's a part of the Golden Path experience, and it's an accelerated ascension journey for awakening souls that are ready to ignite their soul's highest mission and elevate your life and your business into the 5th dimension and beyond. This is over 2 decades of my work as a doula, as a liquid crystal practitioner, someone that's been in the spiritual industries for quite some time, and the personal development industry. So it's a package of all of those skills and abilities. It's we look at the multi-dimensional gifts, your abilities, working with the 12 layers of DNA, the Akashic records. Oh my God, that's like my wheelhouse. All of Atlantis and Lemuria past civilizations. So it's a transformative immersion for women that are ready to deeply and completely transform their life. It's for 7 months. Of course, it's for 7 months. And we start in July, the 7th month. This is where I teach you to become an author over your reality, and you live in accordance with the natural golden path within you. It's a portal. We create quantum shifts in your life, highest realities to abundance, freedom, ascension, and your soul expansion. There's quantum healing, activating your channel abilities, connect you to your higher self and your star families. It's so beautiful. This is my absolute gift to humanity, is to hold people through the gateway. What we're really doing is we're bringing heaven to earth. And so when you're in your soul's highest mission, you become the gateway, you become the portal that people get to see and experience. And we truly need more people like that on the planet. So what's included? You get private mentorship, private channelings and healings and messages. Then you get the full group support. You get monthly group channeled activations, monthly group Q&A. There's a whole online learning portal that you go in, tap into all the resources. Of course, it must include your soul's highest mission reading. That alone is a 28-day journey. And we were in a private group, okay? We start in July. If anyone is interested it really is the best way to continue the learning and to continue the support. We really are piercing through the walls of the limited reality into the limitless field of abundance. And this is where you choose new timelines, you become the author of your own reality, and you start really creating the life that you deserve and that you desire. It is coming really to serve the world from a place of sovereignty and for power. The feminine path of power. It's very different from the masculine path of power. So if any of this interests you, it is 7 months. We start in July. There's a link here. You can book a call, but we'll also drop the call link. If anyone's interested in this, we'll drop it into the Zoom chat and also the Facebook comments. It is a beautiful, beautiful process. This has been an extension of my work. I've worked with a lot of women in the past, and this is just, this is like what I wish a beautiful divine woman would have shared with me when I was going through my dark night of the soul and when all these experiences were happening. I very much felt alone. My big awakening is quite some time ago, and there just wasn't the connectivity that we've got now, and the resources that are available the way that they are. So please, if any of this interests you, even if you just want to have a chat about your soul's highest mission reading, we can organize that for you. Thank you so much, everyone. I know we've gone, wow, an hour and a half. Thank you for taking this time out of your evening and your busy lives to go on the journey of self-inquiry, to go on the journey of self-transformation, okay? It takes such courage. you need to really confront and face off with a lot of your fears. And it's just the most incredible gift you can give yourself is to truly deeply know who you are, what you're here to do, and how you can serve humanity. Oh, Brie, that's amazing. Yeah, hun, just book a call then and I'll have a chat to you. That's so exciting. It's yeah, so thank you everyone. If anyone's got any other questions or closing remarks, again, this will be kept available for free for anyone else that wants to come into the Facebook group. Yay, Bree, thank you. You're so welcome. So, you know, the intention behind the Golden Path Experience Facebook group is we actually become a free online educational platform where we really marry ascension. I want to break it down into digestible, relatable chunks of information. It doesn't need to be airy and lofty. This stuff makes sense to me. And so I want to break it down, show you the framework for why we're even incarnated at this point in time, what we've got to offer humanity, and just really like live in your joy. Live in your joy. This is meant to be a celebration. The way you live your life is your gift back to humanity, okay? And really your life will become your message. It really is kind of getting to the pointy end now. Thank you so much, everyone. Come back. Once we've uploaded it, you'll get your personal years, your document to read through. I love you all. Please make sure and remember you're following your golden path. Be safe and have a lovely evening. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Bianca. My pleasure, darling. Bye.